In this problem, we are asked to determine the lines of reflection for our rectangle. We know that our rectangle has two lines of symmetry and the lines pass through the midpoints of the opposite sides. Since it's a multiple selection problem, we could look at our choices and graph those to determine which lines are lines of symmetry. I'm going to work this as though it was a short answer and not multiple choice. We'll start by finding the midpoint of each side. So I'm going to start here at the vertex at 2, -1, and I'm going to find the midpoint of this short side. I would have to rise 3, run 3 to get to the next vertex. So I'm going to do half of that. I'm going to rise 1.5, run 1.5. And now I have my first midpoint located at 3.5, 0.5. I'm going to go to the other short side, that opposite side, and do the same thing. I'll start at that bottom corner vertex. I'm going to run 1.5, rise 1.5, and I now have my next midpoint at 10.5, -6.5. Now I could do this algebraically and find the slope of that line using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then I could use y equals mx plus b to determine my b value or y-intercept. We can also do this graphically. So I will connect the points to draw in my line of reflection. And you can see that this line has a slope of -1. So my slope is -1. If I extend this line up using that slope of -1, I get to a y-intercept of 4. So my equation is y equals -x plus 4. We can do this same process for our other set of parallel sides. So if I'm here at this vertex at 2, -1, I would have to go down 7, right 7 to get to the next vertex on the long side. I'm going to do half of that. I'm going to go down 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5, right 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5. Here's my midpoint of this side. That is located at 5.5, -4.5. I can do the same process on the other opposite side. So 1, 2, 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5. Here's my next midpoint at 8.5, -1.5. Again, I could do it algebraically or graphically. Let me do it graphically, and I'll connect these midpoints to show my line of reflection. You can see that the slope of this line is up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, so the slope is 1. If I continued that slope all the way across my graph, I would find a y-intercept of -10. So this equation is y equals x minus 10. I can look at the other two choices, y equals -4.5 and x equals 7, and graph those to determine that they do not pass through the midpoints of the opposite sides and they are not lines of symmetry.